Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we embark on an exhilarating journey through the wild, weird, and sometimes downright chaotic world of automobiles. If you're a newcomer, be sure to hit that subscribe button and fasten your seatbelt, because today we're diving into a particularly wild experiment. What truly happens when gasoline is poured into a diesel engine? Spoiler alert, the results are anything but pleasant. To ensure safety, while we explore this peculiar scenario, we'll be utilizing an old test car specifically designated for experiments like this, so you can relax and know that this is not something you should ever attempt at home. We'll walk you through the science behind why mixing these two fuels can lead to catastrophic engine failure, as well as the visual spectacle of what unfolds. Get ready for an educational ride filled with facts, fun, and a hint of chaos. Let's roll. Allow me to introduce our trusty guinea pig, a weathered 1998 diesel truck that has clearly seen better days. This rugged vehicle operates on diesel fuel, which is specifically designed for high-compression engines. Unlike gasoline, which ignites with a spark in standard internal combustion engines, diesel fuel relies on the immense pressure generated within the engine's cylinders to combust. On the flip side, gasoline engines, like almost all passenger cars you see speeding by, function through a completely different ignition process. Now consider the idea of mixing these two fuels. It's akin to serving a steak to a vegan and expecting them to thrive on it. Today we're about to take on a curious experiment. We will fill this diesel workhorse with gasoline and observe what unfolds. Will it sputter to life, producing an unexpected roar? Will it erupt in a cloud of smoke and chaos? Or will it simply resign to sit idle and sulk in oblivion? Join me on this adventure, and let's uncover the fate that awaits our diesel beast. All right, we've just poured 5 gallons of regular unleaded gasoline into this diesel tank. Typically, this truck operates on diesel fuel as if it were savoring a fine wine, but today, we're treating it to the budget-friendly option. Before we turn the ignition, let's delve into why this is such a reckless decision. Diesel engines are designed to run on fuel that not only provides the necessary lubrication for the high-pressure fuel systems, but also ignites at a significantly higher temperature due to the compression ignition process. Gasoline, on the other hand, is much thinner, has a lower viscosity, and ignites too quickly for the diesel engine's specifications. Imagine trying to run a finely tuned sports car on water instead of gasoline. It just doesn't compute. Using gasoline in a diesel engine is like using jet fuel in a lawnmower, completely incompatible and destined for disaster. The differences in combustion properties mean that gasoline will burn far too rapidly, potentially causing catastrophic damage to critical engine components. But theoretical implications aside, we're about to face the practical consequences. Buckle up as we prepare to see what happens when we fire it up. All right. We've just poured 5 gallons of regular unleaded gasoline into this diesel tank. Typically, this truck operates on diesel fuel as if it were savoring a fine wine, but today, we're treating it to the budget-friendly option. Before we turn the ignition, let's delve into why this is such a reckless decision. Diesel engines are designed to run on fuel that not only provides the necessary lubrication for the high-pressure fuel systems, but also ignites at a significantly higher temperature due to the compression ignition process. Gasoline, on the other hand, is much thinner, has a lower viscosity, and ignites too quickly for the diesel engine's specifications. Imagine trying to run a finely tuned sports car on water instead of gasoline. It just doesn't compute. Using gasoline in a diesel engine is like using jet fuel in a lawnmower, completely incompatible and destined for disaster. The differences in combustion properties mean that gasoline will burn far too rapidly, potentially causing catastrophic damage to critical engine components. But theoretical implications aside, we're about to face the practical consequences. Buckle up as we prepare to see what happens when we fire it up. 2 minutes in, and this diesel engine is still sputtering along, though running is a generous term. It's a battle for survival, pushing through with a rough, uneven pulse that's far from smooth. These engines are renowned for their durability and resilience, but even the toughest machines have their limits, and you can distinctly hear the misfires echoing from the exhaust. That's gasoline igniting prematurely, disrupting the delicate dance of the combustion cycle and leading to an erratic performance. If this were your everyday vehicle, the tension in your shoulders would be rising as anxiety grips you. Let's take it for a test drive and determine if it can even make it down the road at all. And we're finished. That steep hill was the breaking point. The engine just surrendered, its once powerful growl replaced by an unsettling silence. Can you hear that? It's the quiet lament of a weary diesel truck proclaiming, "I've had enough of your antics." It's likely that gasoline has poured into the cylinders, drowning them in a flood, or perhaps the injectors have stubbornly seized up, starved of the lubrication they desperately need. Whichever it is, this beast isn't moving another inch without some serious, tender, loving care. Let's lift the hood and uncover the extent of the damage. Here lies the heart of the beast, resting beneath layers of metal and plastic. At first glance, everything appears intact, no signs of catastrophic explosions or fire damage, which is a relief. However, it's evident that the engine is not in good spirits. The fuel filter is likely clogged with an assortment of debris and particulate matter, remnants of neglect that could impede the engine's performance. The fuel injectors, intricate components responsible for the precise delivery of diesel fuel, may very well be damaged beyond repair. It's crucial to note that gasoline can compromise the protective oil film that coats the inner workings of a diesel engine, leading to significant wear and tear on essential parts. If this were a scenario involving a customer vehicle, we could be staring down the barrel of repair costs, reaching into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But since this is merely a test car, we're not overly concerned, at least not yet. Our first course of action is to drain the tank completely. Clearing out that chaotic mixture took significantly longer than anticipated. Just look at the bizarre concoction we extracted. It's a strange blend of gasoline and diesel, a combination that certainly wasn't part of anyone's plan. After thoroughly flushing the fuel lines to eliminate any remnants of that hazardous cocktail, we've replenished the system with pristine diesel fuel. Now comes the crucial moment. Will the engine roar back to life, or have we inadvertently transformed this rugged truck into a costly lawn ornament? Let's find out and see if it can reclaim its former glory. Absolutely! She's back in action. Just listen to that unmistakable purr. Well, as much of a purr as an aging diesel engine can muster. It's not flawless. We likely incurred some damage along the way, but the fact that it's running again is a small victory in itself. This serves as a crucial reminder. Never mix fuels, folks. Even if you manage to catch it early and flush the system, you're walking a fine line between a minor hiccup and expensive repairs. Just imagine the nightmare of accidentally making that mistake at a gas station. Your wallet would definitely take a significant hit. But for us, this experience was more of a controlled chaos experiment, and I have to say, we gleaned some truly valuable lessons from it. What occurs when you mistakenly fuel a diesel engine with gasoline? The results are typically disastrous. The engine sputters, emits clouds of smoke, and ultimately succumbs to failure, sometimes irreversibly. Today we experienced a stroke of luck with a successful revival, but we wouldn't recommend testing your own vehicle's fate in this way. If you found amusement in watching this truck endure such a misadventure, so you don't have to, go ahead and smash that like button. We'd love to hear your stories as well. Have you ever mixed up your fuels by mistake? Or is there an outrageous automotive experiment you think we should tackle next? Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're cooking up more automotive craziness that you won't want to miss. Until our next journey together, remember to keep your fuel tanks topped off and your fuel types strictly separated. Safe travels, and see you on the road.